It is easy to be envious of super rich people. It may seem like they have it all when they move from luxury homes to the coolest cars, from the glitz and glamour of the red carpet to the extravagant parties and luxury vacations. But there is more to what meets the eye. Behind the scenes, there are some real dark secrets about the lifestyles of the super rich. Stay tuned as we explore the untold stories of the super rich, from corruption and scandal to tax evasion and fraud. But before we expose the dark secrets of some innocent-looking rich folks, here are a few general dark secrets almost all super rich people have. First, if we examine the enormous financial holdings that the extremely wealthy are able to accumulate, we may find that this wealth is frequently acquired through tax evasion and exploitation rather than by hard work or resourcefulness. For instance, the Panama Papers exposed the super rich's use of offshore tax havens as a means of money laundering and tax evasion. Governments are losing out on crucial cash that could be utilized to pay for public services, which directly affects society. The extremely wealthy use a range of tax avoidance techniques. Using tax havens, jurisdictions with little or no taxes, to hide money from the government is one of the most popular strategies. Numerous of these safe havens can be found on tiny island states like Bermuda, the British Virgin Islands, and the Cayman Islands. Others can be found in bigger nations like Luxembourg and Switzerland. These tax havens are popular for a variety of reasons. The most important reason, however, is that they provide a high level of secrecy, making it impossible for authorities to track down the money that is buried. Secondly, it's hard to conceal that most super rich people have dark and almost messy lifestyles. Example is the story of Jeffrey Epstein's private island, Little St. James. Epstein, who was convicted of sex crimes, owned the island and used it to host lavish parties for his friends, including many powerful and influential people. As much as this sounds like rich people just having fun, the island has since become a symbol of the dark side of wealth and privilege, and it has been the subject of much speculation and rumors. Some have even suggested that it was used for human trafficking and other illegal activities. Whether or not these rumors are true, the island represents a darker side of the lives of the super rich. Another dark secret of the super rich is the way in which they use their wealth to influence the media. The super rich most times own or control significant media sources, which they employ to promote their own agenda. Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation, for example, owns several major newspapers and television networks, including Fox News in the United States. This media conglomerate has been accused of pushing a right-wing political agenda and disseminating falsehoods and propaganda. Another case in point is the Koch brothers, billionaires with a strong libertarian mindset. They have used their riches to bankroll think tanks and lobbying groups that support their agenda, which includes slashing taxes and regulations and opposing climate change action. Some critics claim that such power undermines the democratic system and provides the wealthy an unfair advantage over ordinary individuals. This might not be much of a dark secret, but concerns have also been raised regarding how the super rich utilize their wealth to influence culture and education. Some billionaires, for example, have given significant quantities of money to colleges in order to influence the curriculum and promote their own viewpoint. This has raised fears that institutions are growing overly reliant on the wealthy. Now, let's peel back the curtain on the opulent world of a few of the 1% and reveal the hidden truths behind their lavish lifestyles. First on our list of secrets is Philip Green. Green is a businessman who acquired his money in the retail industry and is regarded as one of the wealthiest persons in the United Kingdom. However, he has been involved in a number of scandals over the years, including sexual harassment charges and the use of tax evasion methods. Several former colleagues accused him of sexual harassment, alleging that he made inappropriate statements and gestures towards women. He rejected the charges, but they prompted the UK Parliament to launch an official investigation. Not only was he accused of making inappropriate comments and gestures towards female employees, he was also accused of groping them and engaging in other forms of physical contact, as well as threatening to fire or demote employees who refused his advances or reported the alleged abuse to management. These charges prompted an official investigation by the House of Commons, which found compelling evidence of Green's unacceptable behavior. Green was also accused of employing tax strategies to avoid paying taxes on his fortune. He denied these charges as well, but they received public and media scrutiny. Green's shady work did not stop there. He's also been called out in recent years for his role in the demise of BHS, a retail firm that fell into administration in 2016. The bankruptcy of BHS, a department store business, resulted in the loss of thousands of jobs and a pension deficit of more than £500 million. The dark secrets of the next person on our list will make you wonder why the most common scandal for super rich people are usually those associated with sexual abuse. Number 2. Jimmy Savile. Savile was a British media personality, best known for hosting the television show Top of the Pops, a weekly musical show for many years. After his death in 2011, a series of allegations emerged about his sexual abuse of children and young people. It is most saddening that this had to be revealed after his death, ripping the victims of their chance to get justice. The allegations against Jimmy Savile are some of the most disturbing and far-reaching in recent British history. Over the course of his career, he was accused of sexually abusing hundreds of children and young adults, including while working as a television presenter and DJ. These allegations spanned several decades and involved abuse in schools, hospitals, and other public institutions. Savile died in 2011, but the claims surfaced in 2012, sparking a national outrage and an official investigation. The inquiry found that Savile abused hundreds of people and identified systemic failures in how his abuse was handled, such as the need for a closer examination of powerful figures, better support for victims, and more robust procedures for investigating allegations. Moving on, we have another fascinating dark secret story made complex by his mysterious death. Number 3. Robert Maxwell. Maxwell was a media tycoon who controlled a number of newspapers and other publications in the UK. Like most celebrities with rags to riches story, Maxwell had to struggle to make a name for himself. Born in Czechoslovakia, he fled Nazi persecution as a child and finally settled in the United Kingdom. He rose to fame as a successful businessman there, but he was also a controversial personality. He was discovered dead at sea in 1991 under unknown circumstances. Maxwell was charged with fraud and other financial crimes when it was proven that he had embezzled money from his firms. His death and the accompanying revelations about his business practices sparked a media frenzy in the United Kingdom, raising concerns about the amount of corruption in the British press. In addition to his alleged embezzlement, he was also accused of spying for the Soviet Union, among a number of other shady connections. His death generated a number of conspiracy theories, and his reputation remains a subject of controversy to this day. This story gets even more messy when we discover that Maxwell's daughter has a dark secret of her own. Number 4. Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine is the daughter of Robert Maxwell, and she has had her hands soaked in her own scandal in recent years, after her father's death, giving us a perfect situation of like parent, like child. She was close to Jeffrey Epstein and has been accused of obtaining underage females for him. Furthermore, she has been charged with perjury and is currently on trial. When we examine this case closely, we cannot help but notice the role of power and riches in encouraging abuse. And it has also raised questions about the role of accomplices in these types of crimes. In addition to Ghislaine Maxwell's charges, there are suspicions about her father's role in the crimes. That is hardly surprising given Robert Maxwell's ties to organized crime, and some have suggested that he may have been involved in Epstein's actions. Other high-profile personalities, such as Prince Andrew and Donald Trump, have been linked to the case. This has fueled speculation about the scope of the scandal and the number of people involved. Despite these charges, Maxwell has maintained her innocence and is currently on trial. Our list comes to an end with the dark secret of Jim Ratcliffe. Number 5. Jim Ratcliffe is the founder and CEO of Ineos, one of the world's largest chemical businesses. He is also one of the wealthiest people in the United Kingdom, with a net worth of more than $15 billion. Ratcliffe, on the other hand, has been involved in a number of scandals, including charges of corruption and tax evasion. He has been accused of hiding his fortune in offshore tax havens and has been chastised for his treatment of workers. He has also been accused of leveraging his fortune to influence politicians and avoid rules. Despite these charges, Ratcliffe has maintained his innocence and defended his actions. There have been various claims leveled against Jim Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe allegedly utilized an offshore trust to avoid paying taxes on his fortune, which is one of the most serious claims. He has also been accused of bribing lawmakers to get favorable treatment for his commercial interests, this one being all too typical among wealthy people. There have also been allegations of human rights violations at Ratcliffe's businesses, including child labor and unsafe conditions at work. These are serious claims that have heightened scrutiny of Ratcliffe and his businesses. We hope that this is resolved and that if he is found guilty, he is brought to justice. These are just a few of the dark truths that have been revealed about some of the world's wealthiest people. Many such incidents have come to light in recent years, demonstrating the need for holding the wealthy and powerful accountable for their conduct. What do you think? Is it possible to create a transparent and just society even with the big gap in wealth between many people? What do you think? Is it possible to create a transparent and just society even with the big gap in wealth between many people? If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe to the channel because it helps a lot. Put your suggestions down in the comment section so we know what you guys want to see next. Till then, stay safe.